make whoever is your base camp manager print the certificate and hand it to you at the meeting. Because even though you may say, well, doesn't really mean very much to me, you are speaking into other people. They see your achievement. How many of you here have learned from another Toastmaster? Look around the room. Everybody has their hand up. Make sure that you take the time to be recognized. It's a way to allow your membership to thank you for the efforts that you're putting forward, and it's important. And note, we have people achieving all over the state. It's incredible success. Those papers that I told you about just a bit ago, I would be remiss if I wasn't to bring it to your attention as to where exactly those would be located. If you look, here is our new rolled out, new revamped district website. If you haven't been to this website, I would highly encourage you to do so. district19.me. Keith Nielsen would say, because it's all about me! Really, it was really about the member experience, ME. But it allows you the opportunity to go here and look under the Education tab, and oh my gosh, can't believe it. Look, pathways. Shocking, I don't know how this came there. Seiko, our public relations manager, she's amazing. But you can see here, if you scroll down to the very bottom, you're going to note that we have many opportunities to be able to engage paperwork. There is no reason at all that anybody in your club should be without information. Anything that you need is here. And if it's not, reach out to me or Seiko, and we will make certain to get that material up onto this website as soon as possible. That will give you the opportunity to be able to continue sharing within your club also. There was a catalog that you had mentioned, Lisa, 64-page catalog. Guess what? It's here. 64-page catalog. 66 in this case. Who's counting? But what it does is it breaks out those particular paths, and it gives you a little more information about what is going to be needed in order to fulfill that particular path.
And I use that literally. I've been putting dates down because I never got a DTM, and I want to in pathways, and this is giving me a chance to map out my path to get there.
If you need information, we've got information and ways for you to engage. I do have one example as a hard copy printed off of that, and we'll pass that around, or you can come and take a look at it near the end. I also have what's called paths and core competencies. This is a more condensed format of the larger catalog here. And this condensed format, I've got a couple of versions of that, and I'll just pass them around. It lists the 5 core competencies that every single opportunity for a path, they're going to have at least 3 or 4 of those. Excuse me, 3. And they're going to end up utilizing out of those particular core competencies where you're going to be stressing your learning. And you can see that within that particular handout. You have a big catalog too? Okay, so we have 2 of these. If you would like to look at those, and I'll start to pass those out also. You can take a peek at them. All of this information can be found here on this Pathways tab. That way you have access to it, and you can begin to understand a little bit further where you can go, what you might like to study. When you take the assessment, those of you that have, understand that you answer a series of questions, and then you get funneled into a here's what would be best for you according to the answers that you have given. But then there are two other options that would be, I'll say, like a runner-up. And they say, okay, choose this one which matches the best, or we would recommend these other two also. However, there are some of you where that might feel a little bit too restrictive, in which case these catalogs may come in very valuable. If you would like to read a little bit further in depth, then you just go underneath those three options. Right underneath there's an arrow or a drop down, and you can choose the path of your choice. I do appreciate the opportunity to be able to have pathways. There is a little bit of a drawback. I did hear it over here, that it is a little bit less loosey-goosey, if you will. And I'll give you the reason why I use that term. When I was working through the manuals, I would be giving a lot of presentations frequently. When you become a leader, you often do. What I would be encouraged to do would be to give the presentation, and because we were never to give it away for free, meaning always get credit for your talking, I would look for a manual and then I'd stuff the speech in there. And I really wouldn't take the time to read all the material, what I was to learn, all the detailing, and prepare my speech according to what I was to get out of that particular component. Pathways is different in that regard. It is making certain that the information that you learn really does apply to presentation mastery, to leadership development. Those specifics are being mapped in such a way that I couldn't just fast forward through the videos because I already understood icebreakers. But I really wasn't able to fast forward through them, and I did get something from it, even though I listened to it a second time with a second path. The opportunity to be held accountable is in place for you in Pathways. I hope that the opportunity to have these breakout sessions and to share time with one another and to get in depth with what we're learning here today is going to be useful. And that you'll be able to look into this particular website and note all of the benefits that you can find listed here for additional resources. We're going to go ahead and break out into our different paths. If you are a base camp manager, meaning you are a vice president of education, a president, or a secretary, you'll want to go with Tammy and Wendy, as they're going to dig a little bit deeper into what would be helpful for you. For those of you that are members, I would invite you to come down to the floor. We're going to have a breakout session. We're going to do a little bit of demonstration and case study.